The trial of 11 journalists, including 9 journalists arrested in the operation organized against the Mesopotamia Agency and Jin News in October, started 7 months later at the Ankara 4th Assize Court. The court ruled for the release of the journalists who were charged with terrorist organization membership based on 149 news reports made by the Mesopotamia Agency, the protests they followed and their social media posts, adjourning the hearing to July 5th. The lawsuit filed against the Ankara Bar Association administration on April 24, 2020 for criticizing Ali Erbash, the president of religious affairs, in his Friday sermon that targeted the LGBTQIs and made hate speech, was concluded with acquittal. Within the scope of the case, the then Ankara Bar Association president and 11 lawyers who were members of the board of directors were charged with insulting a public officer based on his duty at the Ankara 16th Assize Court. Emine Şenyashar, whose husband and 2 sons were murdered by the bodyguards and relatives of the Justice and Development Party parliament member Ibrahim Halil Yıldız, and who has been demanding justice in front of the Urfa courthouse since March 2021, stood trial on the charge of insulting a public official. The hearing held at the Urfa 5th Criminal Court of Peace was adjourned to June 8th. Journalist Metin Yoksu, who was charged with making propaganda for a terrorist organization due to the news photograph he took at the funeral of the victims of the Suruç massacre and shared it on social media, was sentenced to 1 year and 3 months in prison at the Istanbul 23rd Assize Court. Doğan Akın, editor-in-chief and concessionaire of T24 news website, who was charged with insulting a public official due to the news on the awarding of the tender for state-owned land in Bodrum to the company of Sedat Varank, the cousin of Minister of Industry and Technology Mustafa Varank, was acquitted in the first hearing of the trial at the Istanbul Second Criminal Court of First Instance. Journalist and writer Cengiz Çandar was sentenced to 7 months and 15 days in prison for praising crime and criminals for his Twitter post on May 30, 2017 at the Istanbul 30th Criminal Court of First Instance. The court decided to convert the prison sentence into a judicial fine of 4,500 Turkish liras. Conscientious objector Ersan Uğur, who was on trial at the Sakarya 3rd Criminal Court of First Instance on the grounds of being a draft evader, was sentenced to 16 months and 20 days in total. The court converted the prison sentence into a judicial fine of 15,000 Turkish liras. 10 people were detained in front of the Ankara Provincial Election Board after they reacted against the discrepancy between the wet-signed minutes and the data shared by the Supreme Electoral Board and started a democracy vigil. The new domain name of Ekşi Sözlük, one of Turkey's most widespread online interactive social communication channels, which was censored in February on the grounds of protection of national security and public order, was also blocked by the Ankara 6th Criminal Judicature of Peace for the same reason. 118 news articles and social media posts, including the news article published on our website about the blocking of 113 online content by the Ankara 2nd Criminal Judicature of Peace, including news about the book SS, written by Cumhuriyet Daily writers Barış Pehlivan and Barış Terkoğlu, in which they revealed the photos of Sadullah Alagöz, who was accused of sexually abusing a child, taken with many state officials, was censored by the same judicature. 21 news articles and social media posts, including the news article published on our website about the blocking of access to 102 content, 97 of which were news articles related to Alagöz by the Ankara 5th Criminal Judicature of Peace, was censored again by the same judicature upon the request of the ministry.